Washington situation is our owner isn't back in the news. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Snyder has another sexual harassment claim levied on him. Now, this time, 6 former employees levy a new sexual harassment claim on him. And at this point, Will, I mean, can we finally say he's out the door? Like, what do we do, man?
Well, stuff's happening. Yeah. I think for the first time, there's some momentum here, you know, and it's kind of funny. You know, it kind of shows how little respect this man has in the D.C. area. I don't know if you heard yesterday, it came out. He bought like George Washington's one of his other properties in the Mount Vernon area. He spent $40 million, $50 million of cash money to get this new property on the Potomac.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, but to show how little respect this man has with all that money, February 2nd, huge day in team history. You have a new team name. The very next day, Congress says, we're talking about you. We're having an investigation hearing. You're in the news for all the wrong reasons. And as you mentioned, the women came forward. Mm-hmm. The new revelation was that one woman, Tiffany Johnson, she directly named Snyder for the first time. Everything before that has been the team, the employees. It's been, well, he's a part of this, but this was the first time he is directly implicated in harassment and assault. And it was he slid his hand under the table onto her thigh, and I believe he even tried to see if she would come into the limousine with him after some event that they were at. And so this got to change things, all right? And this caused Congress to say, we need those receipts, NFL.
Yeah.
Because as part of this, what also happened was it was discovered that the NFL and Snyder were in cahoots to say we're not releasing those documents. But what's kind of happening now, we're getting some fighting. The NFL and Snyder are fighting over well, who said we're going to release them and who's holding these back. You know, and Snyder said, you know, we're gonna do an investigation into this woman. We take this allegation serious. And the NFL came out and said, no, you're not. You are not doing any personal investigations. We run the allegations. This is our league. So they're really kind of starting to butt heads. And that's what makes you kind of start to wonder what's happening. And then was that the bomb got dropped on Super Bowl Sunday, where is it possible now we're getting closer and closer that these owners are getting tired of Snyder's shenanigans?
Yeah.
And are they getting closer to wanting to vote him out? Because it takes 2/3 to vote him out. So it's going to take 24 owners to say you have to go if they force him.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is we talked about earlier in the year, one of the people that he's been buddying up to, Jerry Jones, just had this similar type of stuff happen in the Dallas Cowboy organization with cheerleaders. And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he's taking, sexually harassing them, taking pictures and certain when they're changing and things of that nature. Like, at a certain point, you just got to say it's time to go. We heard the whole issue that came out with around Gruden and how the NFL was kind of keeping it hush-hush and Gruden was a scapegoat to the whole situation. What is it going to take to get this man out of D.C.? What else does he have to do? You know what I mean?
Well, so you bring up that point, and that's perfect about the Cowboys. And Ash has asked, why hasn't he been pushed out yet? This is an example why. So it's going to take 24 owners to kick you out. You mean to tell me that Dan Snyder doesn't have receipts on some of these other owners? Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me that the NFL owners didn't know about what happened in Dallas in 2015? Because that's what came out today. And that's kind of the problem. And that's what all these journalists keep talking about. It's not about, we're looking at it from a moral standpoint. There is no reason for him to be the owner. But you're talking billionaires who are used to power, ego, and getting their way.
Yep.
It's going to take a whole lot more than morals. That's not one of their traits, And it's like, what other receipts? I mean, look at Robert Kraft is still owner of the Patriots, and he got busted for prostitution.
Right.
He's still there, So That's the thing. It's like, and the litigious way that Snyder is. They know if we start to force him out, he's going to come clean. And and the reason why the NFL didn't want the emails to get out is because there are people named in there that they don't want the league secrets to get out.
Yeah.
And so it's all about protection here. It's all about hiding. And for right now, the league is making money.
Yep.
They just signed that contract with Amazon. If you want to watch Thursday Night Football, you have to have Prime. It's going to be $1 billion contract. The Sunday ticket is up for grabs in the next year or two. They're going to move that off DirecTV and make you pay for it, like a ESPN Plus. The TV money is so good right now for the NFL. They don't have to worry about Snyder, Yeah. But at some point, you really got to think, they got to look back and say, we need to bring back this market.
Right.
This fan base is really fading, and you're not helping it. They're fading because of you. And There's got to be like, people keep saying on here, when is enough enough?
Right. And I mean, hey, you're absolutely right. I mean, think of what we've had to face in the last several years. You know what I mean? With all the situations our running backs go with AP and Juice, we have to go do the whole name change. We lose the cheerleaders, lose the theme song, lose the logo, change name again, dealing with, coach has cancer, COVID, all these different scenarios, everything, and it keeps compiling on. And it's like you said, man, even those of us that are so deep into this that it's just like we're stuck in this whole Redskins fan, Washington fanhood. It still even makes us question, like, I don't want that to represent me. I don't want to be a part of something like that. If this is what you're saying, that you're going to continue this, I can't be associated with that. And it's hard to think about, but we got to be realistic with this. Mm-hmm. Because I agree with everything that Ash and Kyle are saying. Sexual harassment, these things have absolutely no place in the NFL. But the NFL is making a very kind of passive-aggressive, like, backwards move, like, yeah, we don't condone it, but at the same time, you're going to get a slap on the wrist for it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, if you smoke some pot and, you do some performance-enhancing drugs, you're going to be out for a couple months or a couple games or something like that. But, you beat up your girl or, you look at her or do something like that, we'll pass it along. And that's not an image that the NFL needs to be putting out there, man.
No.
I hate it, man.
Nope.
Especially in the nation's capital,
right.
But hey, and and we could go on with this one.